Jade Cargill's performance on the September 26, 2025 episode of SmackDown has gone completely viral for all the wrong reasons after a triple threat match involving Tiffany, Stratton, and Nia Jax broke down in a storm of confusion, botches, and controversy. The match, which was supposed to be one of the highlights of SmackDown, turned into an infamous disaster, leaving Jade bloodied, frustrated, and with her credibility as a top babyface in serious jeopardy. Fans immediately flooded social media, declaring this the lowest point of Jade's main roster run so far. The most shocking moment of the contest came when Nia Jax threw Jade Cargill into the steel steps, with such force that Jade suffered a cut above her right eyebrow. Medical staff rushed to check on her as blood poured down her face. Despite the seriousness of the injury, WWE decided to let Jade continue in the match, and the visual of her competing while bleeding instantly drew attention. For many fans, this was the moment that cemented just how dangerous it is to keep pairing Jade and Nia Jax together in high-profile matches. Tiffany Stratton ultimately retained her championship by hitting the prettiest move ever on Nia Jax, but it was the chaos surrounding the finish that grabbed the headlines. Jade had earlier nailed her jaded finisher on Stratton and appeared to have the match, only for Nia Jax to pull the referee from the ring. Later, a critical miscue occurred when Jade had Nia pinned, and Tiffany was supposed to break it up with a dropkick. Nia kicked out early, well before Tiffany arrived, and the referee then froze on Tiffany's own cover, stopping at a 2 count with no explanation. The entire arena groaned, and the botched sequence quickly trended online. Backstage, reports immediately surfaced that Jade was furious with how the match unfolded, particularly with the miscommunication between Nia and Tiffany. Several insiders described Jade as visibly upset once she returned through the curtain, while Tiffany was said to be shaken that the finish collapsed in front of a live crowd. WWE officials reportedly reassured both women but privately admitted that the booking and chemistry between the three has not been working. This isn't the first time Jade Cargill has struggled to gain traction since her high-profile move from AEW to WWE after an impressive debut year, including a Queen of the Ring victory and a major WrestleMania win over Naomi. Jade's momentum has cooled drastically. Many fans believe the feud with Tiffany Stratton has completely stalled her rise. Their matches at SummerSlam and afterward have been criticized for lack of chemistry. And now the SmackDown disaster has cemented the perception that WWE creative doesn't know how to present Jade at her best. Social media reactions to the SmackDown triple threat were brutal. Hashtags like #BotchedDown and #SaveJade trended within minutes of the match ending. Fans accused WWE of protecting Tiffany Stratton at Jade's expense, while others reignited the long-running debate over Nia Jax's in-ring safety. Clips of Jade bleeding on the outside while the referee froze mid-count circulated widely, drawing millions of views on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. The consensus was clear. This was not the kind of viral attention WWE wanted, and Jade was the biggest loser coming out of it. Industry analysts are now speculating that Jade Cargill's babyface run is finished. The perception is that she no longer has credibility as a sympathetic top star after being booked to lose key matches and suffer embarrassing moments like the SmackDown finish. Several prominent wrestling journalists have argued that WWE needs to turn Jade heel immediately, capitalizing on her natural charisma and imposing presence rather than trying to force her into a traditional fan-favorite role. The word reset has become the most repeated talking point in discussions about her future, adding fuel to the speculation. There are reports that WWE creative is already drafting plans to move Jade away from the Women's Championship picture entirely. The idea would be to cool her off, rebuild her character, and reintroduce her in a different storyline heading into the Royal Rumble season. Sources indicate that a heel turn could be executed as soon as Survivor Series, where Jade may betray her teammates in a traditional elimination match. This would give her a fresh direction without the baggage of her current feud. However, there's also a fear among fans that WWE will make the wrong decision and continue booking Jade against Nia Jax. The SmackDown disaster proved to many that the two simply don't work well together, with multiple matches now plagued by awkward timing and dangerous spots. Despite this, insiders say WWE is considering Jade vs. Nia, 1-1 at Crown Jewel in Perth on October 11. Fans have reacted with outrage to the rumor, with many demanding WWE cancel the idea to protect Jade's health and career. Tiffany Stratton's role in the ongoing story has also become controversial. While she remains popular with fans, there is a growing sense that her reign is being undermined by weak programs. Having spent most of her championship run feuding with Nia Jax and Jade Cargill, Tiffany has been stuck in repetitive storylines that don't showcase her talents. The SmackDown debacle has now linked her reign to one of the most infamous botched finishes in recent memory, damaging her credibility as much as Jade's. Looking back, it's remarkable how quickly Jade's fortunes have shifted. Earlier this year, she was positioned as a future WrestleMania main eventer after conquering Asuka in the Queen of the Ring finals. Her victory was hailed as proof that WWE was ready to push her as the face of the women's division. But after losing clean to Tiffany Stratton at SummerSlam in a short 7-minute match, her aura of dominance began to fade. Since then, every program has chipped away at her momentum, and now the SmackDown finish has left her at her lowest point. One of the biggest talking points among fans is whether Triple H and WWE Creative are even invested in Jade Cargill anymore. The company reportedly spent big money to bring her in from AEW, marketing her as a crossover star with movie-level potential. But recent booking decisions suggest WWE may not see her as the priority they once did. Fans point to her limited promo time, inconsistent match quality, and constant losses in big moments as signs that she is no longer viewed as a top-tier project. Behind the scenes, there are whispers that Jade herself has been voicing frustrations. While she has not spoken publicly, several sources claim she has pushed for better booking and more consistent direction. Some even suggest she feels creatively unfulfilled, similar to her frustrations in AEW before leaving. This raises questions about whether Jade could eventually step away from WWE if things don't improve, though such a move would be shocking given how recently she signed her long-term contract. The injuries sustained by Jade in her feud with Nia Jax have also reignited concerns about wrestler safety. Critics argue that WWE is risking one of its most marketable stars by repeatedly booking her in physical spots with Nia, who has a long history of injuring opponents. While Jade's cut on SmackDown was relatively minor, the optics of her bleeding while referees botched the finish have made fans fearful that worse could happen if the feud continues. Calls for WWE to keep Nia out of top matches are louder than ever. Meanwhile, the women's division as a whole is suffering from the fallout of the SmackDown disaster. Many fans feel that the constant reliance on the same few names Tiffany Nia Jadis led to stale with Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch currently out of the title picture. WWE has leaned heavily on Stratton's reign, but without fresh challengers, the division feels stuck. The perception is that Jade was supposed to be the answer, but her stalled push has left the scene even weaker. Crown Jewel in Perth is now being viewed as a make-or-break event for Jade Cargill. If WWE does indeed book her against Nia Jax, it could either salvage her with a dominant victory or bury her further if the match goes wrong. Alternatively, if WWE pulls her from the card and resets her character, it would signal that the company recognizes the mistakes made and is willing to change course. Either way, Crown Jewel will be a turning point in her career trajectory. Fan reaction to Jade's situation has been surprisingly sympathetic. Despite the botches, many recognize that she is being let down by poor booking and unfavorable matchups rather than failing on her own. Hashtags like #PushJadeRight and #JusticeForJade trended after, with fans calling for WWE to give her fresh opponents like Bianca Belair, Io Sky, or even a returning Charlotte Flair. The consensus is that Jade's charisma and star power remain undeniable. It's just the execution that has failed her. Looking ahead, one possible storyline could see Jade Cargill joining forces with another top star in a heel faction. There are rumors that WWE is considering pairing her with damaged Trin CRL or creating a new dominant stable around her. Such a move would allow Jade to hide her weaknesses while showcasing her strengths. Similar to how WWE once protected Batista or Roman Reigns before their breakout runs, it would also give her the edge and aggression that fans are demanding.